Have you ever stopped to consider that the birthmark you carry might be far more than just a simple detail on your body? What if I told you that this mark could be a sign, a spiritual message left by the universe? It may seem strange at first, but what I'm about to reveal could completely change the way you see your own body and your life. These marks could be indicators of a grand destiny, a unique purpose that only you are meant to fulfill. Many believe that birthmarks are merely genetic coincidences or inherited traits. But what if that's not the case? What if, in reality, these marks are trying to tell you something? Something far beyond what the eye can perceive. Marks that signal a calling, a special fate, something the universe wants you to know. If this is beginning to resonate with you, I invite you to stay with me on this journey. After all, these marks could be the first step in discovering that you are a chosen one, with a greater mission. If this theme is striking a chord with you, go ahead and give this video a like. And if you're not yet part of our community, subscribe to the channel right now to ensure you don't miss any content from this series. Let's dive headfirst into the mystery of birthmarks and uncover what the universe is trying to reveal to us. Are you ready? Then let's embark on this journey together. Today, I want to bring up a topic that might seem unusual to some but holds surprising depth: birthmarks. Have you ever considered that these marks might be much more than mere physical characteristics? I believe they are signs from the universe, spiritual messages, subtle reminders that there is a greater purpose waiting to be discovered. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to overlook these subtle clues, but if you pay attention, you might realize that your very skin is trying to tell you a story. These marks, in all their varied shapes and sizes, may be indicative of something grand that is yet to unfold. I, for instance, have a small birthmark on my pinky finger, which for a long time I thought was insignificant. But over the years, I began to realize that there was something special about this mark. Gradually, I understood that it was connected to a spiritual sensitivity I hadn't even been aware of. Something like a psychic gift began to emerge in my life, prompting me to reflect on the meaning of this mark. Could it be that your birthmarks are trying to tell you something as well? Perhaps it's time to stop and pay closer attention to them. Before we move forward, if you feel that this content is resonating with you, if it's touching you in some way, I invite you to like this video. And of course, if you're not yet part of our community, hit that subscribe button. We're just beginning this journey together, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Let's continue to explore this universe of coded messages that, who knows, might help you uncover something extraordinary about your own life. Now, when we talk about birthmarks, it's important to understand that they aren't merely random spots. They hold meaning, and can be seen as deep symbols. Have you ever thought about the colors of these marks? For instance, a reddish mark might be connected to a powerful energy pulsing within you. A mark resembling a scar could be revealing an emotional wound from a past life or something you still need to heal in this one. And why not consider that some of these marks are remnants of past lives? Something that has been imprinted, bringing a message into the present that still needs to be understood. I believe these marks may be signs that you are one of the chosen. Yes, that's right. Imagine you have a unique, extraordinary purpose, something only you can accomplish in this world. Birthmarks could serve as reminders of this special calling. They are signals pointing to a connection with something greater, perhaps even a lineage of enlightened individuals, people with a specific mission to fulfill. It may sound grandiose, but why not? If we view these marks positively, we might see that they are guiding us towards something far greater than we could ever imagine. And what if your birthmark is, in fact, a coded message? Something placed there to constantly remind you that a divine spark resides within you, waiting to be acknowledged. The truth is, if you're here, if you're hearing this, perhaps your destiny is more remarkable than you've ever imagined. What I invite you to do is recognize this mark, connect with it, and understand that it may be the starting point for you to explore your full spiritual potential. If you allow yourself to view the world from this perspective, something magical may begin to unfold. Now, let me tell you about one of the most powerful symbols a birthmark can hold: the shape of a cross. If you have such a mark, it may be a clear indication of a deep connection with faith, religious devotion, and even divine protection from evil. It's not uncommon for those with this kind of mark to feel a greater presence in their lives, as though they have a profound spiritual purpose, a mission to live and spread the teachings of Jesus. This mark can be seen as a divine blessing, something that gives you the strength to move forward, no matter how difficult the challenges ahead. The location of the mark also plays a crucial role in its interpretation. For instance, if the cross is on your wrist, it could signify that you have a mission involving work with your hands, perhaps healing or helping others physically or spiritually. A cross on the back might suggest that you bear a burden, a significant spiritual responsibility. On the chest, it could represent protection and unshakable faith in your heart. Each location tells a story, and it's up to you to discover yours. All of this invites us to reflect on how these marks are more than simple coincidences. They are, indeed, signs of a divine connection. If you carry a cross-shaped mark, it could mean your path is strongly tied to living out the teachings of Jesus. I'm not merely speaking of passive faith, but of a calling to truly serve others, spread God's love, and do good. Perhaps it's time to ask yourself, what can you do to follow this path? Whether it's becoming more involved in your religious community or simply being an example of love and compassion in your everyday life, those who bear this symbol also bear a significant spiritual responsibility. Now, if your birthmark is shaped like a star, know that this carries powerful symbolism. The star has always been a guide, a sign of promise and direction, like the Star of Bethlehem that led the wise men to the birth of Jesus. Having a star imprinted on your skin might signify that you have a special calling to light the way for others. Perhaps your mission is to be a beacon of hope, a source of inspiration for those who are lost. Maybe you are here to be that light others need, guiding them with your wisdom and compassion. The star is also deeply connected to the universe. It represents inner beauty, creativity, and above all, the strength to overcome challenges. If your star mark is red, it may indicate passion and courage. A yellow star could signify optimism and the ability to bring joy to others' lives. A blue star might be linked to spiritual awareness, while purple suggests a connection to royalty and spiritual wisdom. Green symbolizes healing, and black embodies mystery and protection. The color of your mark may reveal profound aspects of your spiritual journey. Having a star-shaped birthmark is a reminder that you were chosen to shine, not only for yourself but for others as well. What does this mean in practice? It may be that you possess a special gift for connecting with people, offering hope and inspiration during difficult times. Perhaps it's your creativity that will open doors and transform the world around you. The key is to understand that this mark is not there by chance. It is an invitation for you to connect with your divine potential and bring light to the darkest places. Now, a fish-shaped birthmark carries profound symbolism, especially for those with a strong connection to the Christian faith. The fish, also known as the ichthys, is one of the oldest symbols of Christianity, used by early Christians to identify themselves during times of persecution. If you have such a mark, it could be a sign that your connection to faith is something ancestral, something that transcends generations. This mark could represent a deep spiritual calling, a reminder that you have a mission related to your faith, as if you were destined to be a fisher of men, spreading the gospel and bringing more people to the light. One biblical story that beautifully illustrates this calling is the story of Jonah, who was swallowed by a whale. He tried to flee from his destiny, but was reminded that he could not escape God's plan for him. Sometimes, a fish-shaped birthmark might serve as a reminder that, no matter how we try to avoid certain paths, the divine calling will always find us. And when we surrender to it, something wonderful happens. We find transformation, a greater purpose. Perhaps this mark is a sign that it's time for you to heed that call and begin walking the path that has already been laid out for you. If this mark is part of you, it may be time to become more actively involved in your religious community. Perhaps your role is to share your faith, to bring others closer to God, like a true fisherman of souls. It's no coincidence that you bear this symbol. It is a constant reminder that your life holds a strong spiritual purpose, something that transcends the ordinary. It may be time to answer that call and see what happens when you surrender to the divine plan written in the stars, or, in this case, marked on your skin. If your birthmark takes the shape of a dove, you carry one of the most universal symbols of peace and love. The dove is often associated with the Holy Spirit and the divine peace found in Scripture. It appeared after the flood, bringing an olive branch to Noah, signaling a new beginning, a reconciliation between heaven and earth. Having a dove marked on your skin may be a call to be a peacemaker in the world, someone who brings harmony in times of conflict, who acts as an agent of reconciliation, both spiritually and personally. This mark can be a constant reminder that your life is deeply connected to spirituality and that you have a special ability to bring calm and resolution to moments of chaos. Think of the dove as a symbol of the serenity you are capable of offering, both to yourself and to others. Perhaps you have a natural ability to resolve disputes, to promote unity among those around you, and this mark serves as a way for the universe to remind you of this gift. Don't underestimate the power you have to turn turbulent situations into calm waters. If you carry this mark, your role may be to help people find peace in their own lives. You might have a calling to mediate conflicts, guide others toward reconciliation, or simply offer a listening ear during times of difficulty. The dove is a symbol of hope and renewal, and those who bear this mark can be a light to those weathering storms. If this resonates with you, perhaps it's time to connect even more deeply with this role of peacemaker, spreading the love and peace of God wherever you go. Now, if your birthmark takes the form of a tree, this brings with it a powerful meaning of growth, strength, and connection to nature. The tree, with its deep roots and branches reaching toward the heavens, has long been a symbol of life and knowledge. Having a tree marked on your skin could mean that you have a special calling to guide and nurture others spiritually. Just as a tree provides shade and fruit, you may be destined to offer support, wisdom, and guidance to those who cross your path. This mark is a reminder that you carry within you an unshakable strength, deeply rooted in your faith. Trees also symbolize renewal and the cycle of life, with their leaves falling and growing back in each season. If you have this mark, it could be that you have a special ability to help others renew themselves spiritually. Perhaps you have gone through your own trials, but like a tree that survives the winter, you have emerged stronger. And now, with that renewed strength, you are ready to share your experience and help others find that same spiritual rebirth in their own lives. If your mark is a tree, consider it an invitation to connect more deeply with your spirituality. Perhaps you have an important role as a spiritual leader, someone who offers support to others, whether in your religious community or in your social circle. Trees are known for their quiet wisdom, their resilience, and their ability to sustain life around them. Perhaps you are meant to be that source of life and strength for those around you, helping them to grow and root themselves more deeply in their faith. If you have a birthmark in the shape of a flame, the symbolism behind it is as vibrant as the image suggests. Fire has always been seen as a symbol of transformation, passion, and spiritual energy. In the Bible, for example, the burning bush appeared to Moses as a manifestation of God's presence. If your mark takes this form, it could signify that you have a special calling to be a catalyst for spiritual transformation, both in your own life and in the lives of those around you. The flame purifies, illuminates, and brings clarity, and perhaps your role is precisely that, to bring light to the paths of others. The flame is also a symbol of passion and spiritual fervor. It burns within you, driving you to seek more, never settling for anything less than the extraordinary. If you bear this mark, it may be time to embrace that energy and use it to inspire and transform the lives of those around you. You may have the gift of awakening this same passion for faith in others or of guiding those who are lost or confused, showing them a brighter, more purposeful path. This flame-shaped mark is a constant reminder that you possess the power to be an agent of change. You may be called to lead, to be the light in a world that often feels shrouded in darkness. Whether through your faith, your example, or your words, you can be the flame that warms, illuminates, and transforms. It may be time to ask yourself, how can I use this spiritual energy to ignite faith in the hearts of those around me? Now, if you have a heart-shaped birthmark, you carry the universal symbol of love, compassion, and kindness. The heart is the center of emotions, the place where divine love finds expression. Having this mark on your skin may be a sign that you are called to spread love in all its forms. It is a constant reminder that, like Jesus, you have the ability to touch people's hearts, to offer compassion, kindness, and mercy where it is needed most. Your mark is a symbol of emotional and spiritual healing, a unique ability to restore faith and bring comfort to those who are suffering. If you bear this heart-shaped mark, perhaps your mission is to use this gift of empathy and understanding to help others. You may have a special talent for listening, for deeply connecting with people, and offering the kind of support that only someone with a generous heart can provide. Sometimes, all a person needs is someone who truly understands them, who offers a word of comfort or a gesture of love. And those who carry this mark possess this unique ability to make others feel seen, understood, and loved. What makes this mark so special is that it not only symbolizes love but also the power of healing. If you have this mark, your presence may bring peace and tranquility to those around you, especially in moments of pain or conflict. This is a mark that invites action. How can you spread more love in the world? Perhaps through small daily gestures, a kind smile, or a word of encouragement. Or maybe you are destined for something greater, like guiding others toward emotional and spiritual healing in their own journeys. If your birthmark is shaped like a diamond, you carry an ancient and powerful symbol of wisdom, stability, and harmony. The diamond is known for its strength, its purity, and its ability to reflect light in a unique way. If this form is etched on your skin, it may be a sign that you are chosen to be a pillar of wisdom and stability in the lives of those around you. It's as if the universe is telling you that, despite life's pressures, you remain firm and unbreakable, much like a diamond that only grows stronger under pressure. The diamond is also associated with harmony and unity between the physical, emotional, and spiritual realms. If this is your mark, you may have a special talent for finding balance in your own life and helping others do the same. You may have a natural ability to bring calm and stability in moments of chaos, helping people see situations with greater clarity and wisdom. This mark can also serve as a reminder that you have a strong connection to spirituality, a connection that can guide you to make wise and just decisions. Furthermore, the diamond is often associated with spiritual protection, the cleansing of negative energies, and the ability to attract luck and success. If you have this mark, your path may be tied to using your wisdom and strength to protect those around you, guiding them with clarity and helping them achieve success in their own lives. Perhaps you are destined to be a stable and reliable presence, someone others turn to in times of uncertainty. How can you use this wisdom and stability to make a difference in the lives of those around you? If you've come this far, you're probably beginning to understand just how special birthmarks can be. They are not mere coincidences but valuable clues left by the universe. Perhaps you've already started to realize that your mark holds a much deeper meaning than you ever imagined. This brings us to the central idea I want to share with you today. These marks could be signs that you are chosen. Yes, someone with a unique and extraordinary purpose, destined to accomplish something grand in this world. They are reminders that you have a special destiny, something only you can fulfill. These marks, often overlooked throughout life, may be a divine calling, a message from the universe urging you to recognize your value and your connection to a lineage of enlightened individuals. Many people wonder what the purpose of their lives is, but what if the answer is quite literally marked on your skin? What happens if, instead of seeing your mark as a mere physical characteristic, you start to view it as a map to your destiny? Believe me, there are no coincidences when it comes to something as profound as this. Your mark is there for a reason. I invite you to reflect on this. What if the birthmark you carry is the first step in uncovering your spiritual mission? What if it's a clue, a coded message that only you can decipher? Perhaps it's time to look at it in a new light, seeing it as a constant reminder that you are part of something much larger, something divine. And what can you do with this? Connect with your potential, with that divine spark that resides within you, waiting to be ignited. Because, in the end, we are all here to accomplish something special, and your mark could be the starting point for that journey. Now, I want to address something very important. Birthmarks do not determine your destiny, but rather serve as signs and reminders. They point in a direction, but what you choose to do with that information is entirely up to you. This is where free will comes into play, the ability you have to choose your path. Your mark may be showing you a purpose, but it is ultimately your decision whether to follow it or not. The universe may offer signs, but it's the choices you make at every moment that truly shape who you become. And that's liberating because it means that, regardless of the mark, You have the power to create your own destiny. I know it can be tempting to think that if we have these marks, we are predestined to follow a certain path. But remember, free will is fundamental. You are not bound to an unchangeable fate. In fact, birthmarks are like maps offering multiple routes, and you have the freedom to choose which one to take. What's important is to be aware of this, to know that despite the signs and symbols, you remain the captain of your own journey. And it is precisely this freedom that makes your spiritual journey so unique and powerful. And speaking of signs, beyond birthmarks, there are other signals that can indicate a special calling. Some of these signs are so subtle that you may not even notice them, while others are more obvious, like certain patterns that repeat in your life, dreams that seem to guide you toward a specific path, or even encounters with people who inspire you to follow a particular direction. Stay alert, because the universe has many ways of communicating with you. And if you want to know more about these other signs, I invite you to watch the other videos here on the channel. Who knows, they might help you decipher the next steps of your journey. Now that we've talked quite a bit about what these birthmarks might mean, I want to invite you to do something special. I encourage you to share your own experience with these marks. Perhaps you've never given it much thought before, but now is the time to look at them in a new light. If you have a birthmark that has always intrigued you, or if something I mentioned here touched you, leave a comment and share your story. This kind of conversation can help us connect even more and understand that we all have signs pointing towards something greater. I truly believe that the more we share our stories, the more we uncover deeper meanings. Sometimes the simple act of telling what we feel or perceive can open doors to new insights, both for you and for others. So, take advantage of this space to share what you've been feeling, and let's continue this conversation in the comments. And more importantly, you never know how your story might inspire someone else who is on the same spiritual journey. So, don't hold back. This is your chance to connect with others who, like you, are seeking to understand the purpose behind their signs. And of course, if this content resonated with you, if something here truly touched you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're building a community here of people who are attuned to the signs of the universe, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. Plus, by subscribing, you'll get more content like this, where we dive deep into spirituality in a way that's accessible and meaningful. Who knows, in future videos, you might discover even more about the signs the universe is placing on your path. Before we wrap up, I want you to remember something important. Birthmarks are only one part of your story. They are clues, small signs, but you are so much more than that. The universe may be trying to tell you something through these marks, but what truly matters is how you choose to live your life. And if these marks serve as a reminder that you have a purpose, then the next step is to open yourself to that purpose. What will you do with this information? How will you use this knowledge to live a more connected and spiritual life? I know it can sometimes feel overwhelming to think about a grand destiny. But remember, you're not alone on this journey. We are all trying to decipher the signs we receive, and we all have the opportunity to choose how we respond to these callings. Perhaps your birthmark is an invitation to dive deeper into your spirituality, or maybe it's a reminder that there is something greater waiting for you, something that only you can achieve. But no matter what it means to you, the important thing is knowing that you have the power to shape your path. Lastly, I invite you to continue this journey with me. If you felt that this content helped you in some way, be sure to check out the other videos on the channel. I'm always sharing new insights about spirituality, the universe's signs, and how to live a life with purpose. Together, we can keep exploring this theme, and who knows, you might uncover something even more profound about your own story. So, stay attentive to the signs, and remember, your birthmark may just be the beginning of something much greater. Throughout this journey we've shared today, you've seen that birthmarks can be more than just physical traits. They are, in many cases, spiritual messages, indicators of a special destiny, and even reminders of past lives. But remember, these signs are just one piece of the puzzle. You are responsible for putting all these pieces together and discovering the full meaning of your purpose. What I want to encourage you to do is not to stop here. Keep exploring, keep reflecting, and most importantly, continue paying attention to the signs the universe is sending your way. Now, I'd like to leave an invitation for you who have been following along with me up to this point. Share your own experiences and stories. I'd love to hear about the birthmarks you carry and how they have influenced your life. Perhaps it's a story of transformation, or maybe it's a new perspective you've never considered before. Leave your comment below, because this space is yours too. It's a place for us to exchange experiences and learn together. I believe there's power in stories, and yours might inspire someone who is going through a moment of doubt or searching for purpose. And if you're not yet part of our community, take this moment to subscribe to the channel. It's not just about watching videos, but about being in a space where we're all searching for something greater, something deeper. By subscribing, you'll continue to receive content that can help you better understand your own spiritual journey, and together, we'll explore the mysteries of the universe and the messages it sends us. So, click to subscribe, and let's walk this path together. Now that we've talked about birthmarks and their profound meanings, I want to remind you of something fundamental. Your spiritual journey doesn't end here. The universe is constantly sending us signs, and birthmarks are just one of the many channels through which these messages come to us. There are other signs, other events in your life, dreams, intuitions, and even coincidences that might be trying to tell you something. If you start paying attention, you'll notice that the universe is always communicating, waiting for us to listen and respond. These signs can appear in unexpected moments. Sometimes you might meet someone who says exactly what you needed to hear, or find a book that falls into your hands at just the right time. I believe that nothing happens by chance, and that these small details, when put together, create a bigger picture that guides us toward our true purpose. So stay attentive to everything happening around you, because the signs are everywhere. And if you're curious to learn more about these other signs that might indicate a special calling, I invite you to watch the other videos here on the channel, where I dive deeper into these themes. Finally, remember that spirituality is a continuous journey. It's not something that gets resolved overnight, but a path of daily discoveries. Every step you take, every new insight you receive, brings you closer to your purpose. I'm here to guide you on this journey, and I hope that along the way, you find the answers you're looking for. Don't forget, your birthmark is just the beginning. The universe has much more to show you, and I can't wait to keep exploring it with you in the next videos. We've reached an interesting point in this journey, and I'd like to remind you that you're not alone in this. At some point, we all seek to better understand the signs we receive and how they connect with our lives. As we've discussed, birthmarks are just one of the many ways the universe communicates with us. But what you do with this information is what truly matters. Now that you understand the symbolism behind these marks, the big question is, what will you do with this knowledge? I invite you to reflect on how you can apply this to your life. If your birthmark indicates that you have a special calling, what are you doing to follow that path? Perhaps it's time to change the way you view challenges and how you approach the opportunities that come your way. And if these signs are pointing toward a greater destiny, what can you do to start moving in that direction? The beauty of this journey is that every step you take brings you closer to your true purpose, and every choice you make shapes your path. And now, to conclude this reflection, I want to remind you once again, stay alert to the signs around you. They are always present, even in the simplest situations. Birthmarks are an important part of this, but there are many other clues that can help you find your way. If you felt that this content resonated with your experience, I invite you to continue following the channel. There's still so much to explore, and together we can discover what else the universe has to say to us. Before we part ways, I want to remind you of something very important. Birthmarks can be powerful signs, but the true power lies within you. These marks are just reminders, clues pointing towards something greater. What will truly define your destiny are your choices, how you decide to live, and how you interpret the signs the universe offers you. Most importantly, you have the free will to choose your path. And if these marks are indicating a grand destiny, it's up to you to decide whether to follow that calling. Now I invite you to share your own experiences. How do you view your birthmarks? Do you feel they have a special significance in your life? Leave your comment below, and let's continue this conversation. This space is for us to exchange ideas, learn from one another, and perhaps discover new signs along the way. I believe that the more we share our stories, the more meaning we find in the small details that make up our journey. And of course, if you're not yet part of this community, subscribe to the channel. We're just starting this journey together, and I would love for you to continue alongside me. Here, we talk about spirituality, the mysteries of the universe, and how to find deeper purpose in life. So, if this content touched you in some way, consider subscribing to receive more videos like this. I'm excited to explore even more about the signs the universe sends us and to help you find your spiritual path. We've reached the end of this journey, but the true adventure begins now, within you. What will you do with all this knowledge you've just gained? How will you apply these discoveries to your life? Now that you know birthmarks can be spiritual signs, are you ready to recognize the calling they might be trying to reveal to you? Remember, the universe speaks to us in mysterious ways, and it's up to us to listen and act on those signs. My question to you is simple, yet powerful. Will you ignore or follow the call? Will you continue living as you always have, or will you use this new understanding to transform your life? The choice is yours. What matters is that you understand that destiny is not set in stone, it's shaped by your choices. You have the free will to choose your path, but these marks can serve as a nudge in the right direction. So, I challenge you to look at your birthmarks with fresh eyes and ask yourself, what is the universe trying to tell me? Now, it's time to act. Be curious, investigate, and discover more about your own story and the signs you've carried since birth. And of course, share your discoveries with me and our community in the comments. You are not alone in this journey. We are all seeking answers, and your story could be the inspiration someone else needs. Are you ready to embrace your purpose? The universe is waiting for your response.